Hey guys, what's going on there? I did not see you. Welcome to the Reload Podcast, live to you right now from what I assume is Miami. I've been to Miami for a long time. I lived there for actually 5 years. Don't remember these mountains over here, okay? Just saying. We're here, we're live today, this week on the Reload from Miami Beach, Florida for obviously Blast Pro Series. And we got a lot going on today on the show, obviously talking about Blast. Got a few stories in the news. You have Furia declining their Pro League spot, Luminosity taking that slot, Navi winning Star Series Season 7. Just running down, you got LDLC with a completely new roster, and this roster is actually looking super promising, so a lot to talk about there. Cloud9 going to Occasion B going to Cloud9. Just a lot. We got Vertigo in the mix now. This is absolutely crazy. So let's just jump right into it, right? I want to bring in my guest today. It's Erik, DaBears, Stromberg. Let's see him, baby. Come on down.
Woo! I like the new background.
Hello.
I like it. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you record? Hello? Everyone here? How's it going?
My man. I'm good. You know, I'm here. Let me take this off so I can hear right.
There you
Miami.
go. I'm glad that you took a mountain picture for one of the flattest states in the country. It's really great. I mean, maybe people in Europe might not know, but you're not fooling anyone in America. You're not.
You know,
maybe people in Florida. You might be fooling the people in Florida, but not us.
I think the IQ is a little lower over there, so you know, perhaps
drinking water.
We're trying to. Hey, you know what? It goes with the tropical theme. I got my linen shirt, severely wrinkled, might I add. This thing.
I mean, that's how you do it. If it's ironed out, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You can't just iron those out. You just have to let it how it is.
I look battle worn. I feel battle worn. So.
It's Friday.
It is.
Well, the week's over. Last day for a lot of people through the weekend. So let's get it through. Let's pump it out. Let's get the juices flowing.
Pump it out, man. Let's just jump right into it.
You know
what I mean?
Oh,
let's talk about this Furia thing, right? This is a story you wanted to talk about. You brought it up. Yeah. I'll go ahead and pitch my bit, which is obviously, you know, Furia declining the Pro League spot and Luminosity taking that. They declined for DreamHack Rio. Luminosity took the spot in place of Rogue, but I was doing a little bit of research this morning and finding out that am I getting this right so far?
Yeah, so far, I mean, it's pretty much on point where Furia decided to not take their EPL spot for a single DreamHack Open in Brazil. Now, I think that's pretty respectable. You know, it's an event in their home country, and usually the events in Brazil are pretty high packed. You know, a lot of fans there, pretty rowdy, and it's pretty good for their country. And I like the idea. I'm a little mixed feelings on declining an EPL spot for just one tournament, but I kind of see both sides of the angle. Where one side, hey, you're playing for your home country. This is big for your country. This is big for, I guess, furthering yourself in there. You know, because MIBR. That's what we think about when we think about Brazilian CS, but Furia has been hot on their tail for the last 6 months. They've been doing super well in tournaments. They've been doing well in online leagues and whatnot. And like people have seen this could be the next team coming out from, you know, take that number one spot from MIBR or whatnot. But again, EPL spots it's so hard to get into. You gotta play a league, you gotta play the relegation, and it's just like you have to jump through so many hoops, and they finally make it just to kind of throw it away from one open tournament. So there's a lot of mixed feelings from that angle, but you know, you kind of respect that.
It seems noble, right, to play on the home turf, Brazil, that super passionate audience. You know that the Brazilians, it's like a religion in Brazil. CS is a religion there. You know what I mean?
Lifestyle. You know, there's like StarCraft in South Korea. You know, as probably still is now, but more in early mid 2000s, it was a cultural thing. StarCraft is cultural.
Yeah.
And it's pretty similar to CS:GO in Brazil. There's a lot of big esports, teams and players coming from that region of the world, not just CS, but other games, especially like cell phone games. I do some stuff with Clash Royale, and a lot of good players come from South America, and specifically from Brazil, a lot of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, long term, do you think this is the wrong decision for them, though, considering the Pro League is it's a reoccurring spot?
I mean, if they keep doing well in tournaments, I don't see it being a problem.
Right.
Because tournaments are still held a little bit above online leagues, but they just have to be consistent about it. They can't just do this one tournament and then kind of fall off for the next 6 months. They have to keep going forward, have to keep pushing, because, again, I said, it takes so many loops and there's some hoops that you have to jump through and qualify for like 2-3 months of playing to get in the EPL spot. It's just a big risk, but I mean, Fury's been having a good track record, so
Yeah.
it might not be as big as we think it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the only thing from a business point, I feel like the Pro League is where you can attract a lot more sponsors. I mean, you're in the limelight
Oh,
for
yeah.
a longer time, so that's
Definitely.
where that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
And also, in like a rule of thumb in gaming and whatnot, or in, I guess, a field, nice, in a field where people, it's so cutthroat, where you have to, only first place really wins. Like it's just how esports is. Like it's you have to do super well consistently. Like, I'm just saying, in a nutshell, if you get it, you take it a lot of times,
Yeah.
like, because opportunities don't come around again. So that's just one way to look at it. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, but by the way, I'm going to point out this is G Fuel's non-alcoholic. If you're listening, G Fuel, please sponsor us. Drink this shit all the time.
Get into gaming here.
Just that I went with my non-Miami. Whatever. If anyone knows what region I am in right now, please tell me. I'm scared. I'm lost. I'm sure my mom is worried about me. I don't know where I am. It's big mountain.
Caribbean.
It looks nice. Look at this. There's a little. What is that? A hammock. Let's call it.
Maybe you're in Jamaica. Looks a little bit like Jamaica. Who knows? But
Tahiti.
Side thing. It's where?
Tahiti. That's where I am. I just got confirmation.
There you go. Another side for this period thing, the other controversy to it, there's another little controversy to it, is that Luminosity got the Pro League spot instead of Singularity. And so a lot of people, more Singularity and their fans, are really upset because rightfully they should have gotten the next spot for the Pro League. They pretty much had the same roster. They got third place, and I mean, if one team backs out, it should usually go to that next spot, but instead they gave it to Luminosity, and so there's just a lot of I don't know. And in my opinion, I think that's a little wrong. I think Singularity should have gotten it. It doesn't matter how good Luminosity is right now. The point of when the qualifications were coming through, it was the team Singularity was that team to qualify next through. So
right.
A lot of people are posting lots of screenshots of Luminosity beating Singularity just a couple weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, and Luminosity pretty much stomped them. But again, that's not for a tournament spot or anything, or the Pro League spot. And so you can't just put up one match, one best of 3, saying that Luminosity deserves over Singularity. So
right.
I think ESL really messed up on this, and hopefully maybe they come to some agreement or conclusion that's just not giving it to Luminosity. It's just it's not fair for Singularity or them.
Yeah, no, that's the point that I was going to touch on, was the Luminosity Singularity situation. People are saying that Luminosity doesn't deserve the spot because Singularity had lost to Rogue, and Rogue was the initial spot that was revoked.
Yeah.
That paved way for Luminosity. They lost in the decider round. But it seems kind of like, to your point, that ESL is almost like playing favorites for Luminosity. It's a bigger brand, arguably a better skilled team, like whatever. They chose them because they have a higher ESL ranking. I'm not sure if that was their official reasoning, but I had read that somewhere like prior to the show, actually.
Yeah, it was something like that, and I don't know. They shouldn't base it off that. They should base it on the tournament that they had the qualifications for this league at that moment. And I'm looking at Team Envy, Rogue, Singularity, and then Can't Win on Land was number 4th. But yeah, it's kind of silly. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, yeah, honestly, ESL should probably stick to. That's just like common practice, right? It should go to Singularity in that case.
Should go to Singularity, yes.
Fair.
Injustice.
Let's get the damn justice here in Tahiti. Swing the ban hammer. Yeah, so also, moving, kind of shuffling through the news, what happened. Obviously, we were gone last week. We had Na'Vi won Star Series Season 7. Na'Vi is back, baby. They're here.
They played really well.
A clean sweep of Fnatic in the grand finals. Simple, obviously the MVP. He's in our play of the week at the end of the show. Definitely stick around to see that. You had Fnatic in second, obviously, then NRG and Renegades in third, fourth. And I thought it was also interesting that Renegades is still, they're running it. Like, they're still up there. They're not a flash in the pan. This team is out there. Renegades is fully out there right now.
Yeah, the thing about Na'Vi, they're playing exceptionally well, especially Simple. He's always putting up consistent numbers. And even though he won MVP, I think Electronic got snubbed. I think Electronic should have been MVP this tournament. Even though Simple had, one of the best kill minus in the tournament, I mean, Electronic was right there up with them, and I feel like Electronic had more impact plays than Simple in terms of winning 1-on-2, winning 1-on-3 situations. Electronic was in a lot of these, and not taking anything from Simple or anything, but his play style kind of favors his plus minus a little more than, let's say, in Electronic. So it's a little more impressive to see Electronic put up the numbers and have a lot of impact that he did. So it's hard to just take away an MVP from a guy like Simple, but I think it would have been better for the team, especially for Electronic, if he was able to get an MVP. Give him a boost of confidence. Maybe it's not always about Simple, because Electronic did play very, very well in this tournament. Mm-hmm. And again, I think he had a little more impact than Simple.
That's fair enough. I feel like every time I talk about Na'Vi, I feel like it's like the Eminem D12 situation, right? It almost feels like, this guy's getting all the fame. I mean, rightfully, he's a beast. I didn't get to catch as much of this tournament as probably I will of Blast Miami this weekend. Obviously because it's in Shanghai, and I think I'm like going to bed at midnight or whatever, and I'm getting alerts on my phone that the match is about to start for the day in an hour.
The time zone's a little off for us, but able to catch the matches, and Navi's playstyle, they're going to help out Simple and stuff. I like to say, or I like to think that they kind of have like an onion defense, where it's just layers. You got to go past the first layer. It's Zeus and Edward. The kind of the outer shell, taking all the information, taking the nades, and pretty much being the meat shields for the next layer, which is usually Electronic or Flamey. Playing kind of a support baity role, and then you got the core, you got the way deep in there. That's Simple. He's condensed. He's always he's usually in the back. I mean, he kind of mixes it up. I can't just label him onion, but usually he's opping. He's kind of letting his teammates work around him, and they play around him in a way, and so it's going to help him. It's going to make him look good every single game. If he's hitting his shots, he's going to have really good scores, and still a pretty good player.
I like that. I like that onion layered defense tactic. So smart. Zeus, Edward, peel it back. Oh my God, another one. Trip it. And by that time, you just start smelling like shit. You're crying. You're like, oh,
You're
you got
crying.
simple. You got to deal with simple at the core.
Crying to deal with him.
The
You're there's
onionist part of the onion, right
stings the
there.
nostrils right there, man.
There.
But on that and Renegades, again, those guys have been doing. They put in a lot of hard work. It's unfortunate. I think one of them couldn't make a visa here, but
it was it Jakeem
it was yeah
for
Jacob.
Smuya? Is that right?
It was J-Chem, and I think Smuya is ringing for them. I think that's what it is. And,
that's what I was gonna bring up.
Unfortunate for them, but I mean that boot camp that they did at the major changed this team a complete 180. I mean they were solid. They were always getting. They qualify for tournaments, kind of get there, and then maybe drop off after like the first or second round. But now they're a contender. They're a top 5 team, and if they don't have visa issues, it seems like a lot of Australians and people from down under are having a lot of visa issues lately. But also Ricky. Mm-hmm. So if they don't have many visa issues, it'd be great. Oh, it was Gratisfaction.
Oh,
What's
really?
the guy? Okay. Yeah, it's Gratisfaction. Now that's thought about it, because then they picked up they had to pick up another opera for him, and so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, they're a great team. They're good teamwork. They work together. I just play a lot of selfless defense or selfless CS. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Astralis. I think they took a page out of Astralis' book, and their team
looks like it, honestly.
Looks really on form. They're just not making aggressive plays by themselves. It's usually with teammates. They fall back a lot together, which is always a great sign. And if they're in an unfavorable situation, like say the opponent plants a bomb and B on Inferno, it's a little harder bomb site to retake on CT. And if even if you're down 4-on-3 or 5-on-4, just save it. Sometimes it's not worth risking 3-4 guns and losing a round anyways, instead of just saving 4 guns and then play the next round. It's like those little decisions that good teams have to make. And you'll see Astralis do this a lot. Like you'll see them save a lot of rounds where, at least in the older money system, they probably do it some similar maybe, but they might be a little more aggressive with the new money system. Mm-hmm. But if they're in unfavorable spots, they just save it. Play next round. That's usually the smarter play.
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience, but yeah, if you go down a guy's and that site gets taken for free, you decide to save, long run, probably the smarter move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's hard for teams to do. That's hard for me to do because I want
everyone wants to win. They want to be the simple. They want to be the simple. Let's go. Let me win the round 1 and 3.
I'm running and die.
Look at my demo.
Try to shoot people.
Look at my highlights.
Put that in the VOD, YouTube, baby.
No. Teamwork. Save the gun. Stop trying to be a hero. It's a team game, all right? There's no I in team. Don't say that there's a me in team. It's not proper English. It doesn't count. Get out of here.
Tell him, Erik. Tell him. Jesus, man.
Save the guy.
Yeah. So wrapping up Star Series, I just think I'm looking at it right now. Look at the top 4. You got Navi, Fnatic, Energy, Renegades. And then the bottom, under that, 5th through 16th, you have MIBR, FaZe Clan, Big, ENCE, Ninjas. I mean, the cultural shift of CS is changing in front of my very own eyes. In Tahiti.
It's the teams that were considered, some of the best a year or two ago are kind of dropping off a little bit. I think the biggest surprise, or the biggest alarming surprise, I guess, is MIBR, where
FaZe
roster changing. Well, FaZe, we'll get to them in a second. MIBR, I mean, they always have high expectations. Ever since winning those 2 majors, they were like, okay, we got to win, and they had a run for those 1.5 years to almost 2 years. They had a really good run. They'd get top 3 almost every tournament. They'd win a lot of tournaments. They're a contender for the #1 spot. Now they're not even close. They're I mean, you have to say on paper they're a top 10 team, right? And look at the players on the team. You
Yeah,
have to say they're a top 10, but they're not playing like a top 10 team. They haven't even done well enough to be considered top 10 teams. So, I mean, you have to really put them outside the top 10 right now because they aren't there. I mean, maybe this next tournament will help them out. Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's having a lot of problems with just the roster change ever since getting rid of Taco, over a year ago. Something's changed and it hasn't been the same. So I'm interesting to see if MIB are able to bounce back. Are they able to change their game style a little bit? Maybe people can kind of figure them out. Maybe they haven't found the right strats, or I don't know. This could be something behind the scenes that we don't know of that's affecting them play. I'm sure it's a lot of things, MIBR is not just a CSGO team anymore. Like you see their social media. You got Fallen doing a whole bunch of social media stuff all the time, streaming, making videos, promoting, and he's the in-game leader. He's the guy who makes strats. And when you have your main in-game leader having to do other obligations that's not CSGO, that's when you start to fall back behind. When you're promoting G Fuel or whatever kind of sponsorship, and other teams are going to be be trying to up their game. Like time matters. You have to put a lot of time. You got to want it more, and maybe that could be it. I don't know.
That's a good point. I mean, that's when it's taking the pressure off the players really matters. I mean, I remember like a couple weeks ago, months maybe at this point, we were talking about Astralis and the resources they have in terms of analysts and psychologists, masseuses, everything, what I mean? And they put all that. The difference is, I don't know like MIBR's resources, what they have available to them, but the difference is that Astralis always puts that extra time that they have into their game, and they have to, and that's why they're best. And I don't know that. I don't have any insider information, but if they weren't, they would not be as dominant as they are, because they have to continuously work that hard to remain at the top.
I mean, you could tell through how they play in game, because their teamwork, their timing is so tight. It's so coordinated. You can't do that without practicing long hours. You can't do that without watching demos and replays and talking to each other. Okay, if I do this, you have to fall back or pop flash or whatever you got to do. You could tell by how they play. It looks clean. It looks smart, and they're always doing so well in the matches on an individual skill level. So it just shows that they're putting all the work, a lot of work into getting better. And, they're everyone in the world for a reason.
Damn straight. And MIBR, I mean, I'm hoping Miami is a good showing for them, honestly, because they had WSG. Well, they lost to Wendigo, who went on to win the tournament. Then after that was Sao Paulo, I believe, in the last place there. I don't even know if they won a series.
No, they didn't win. They didn't win a single map, I don't think, and they lost like the one-on-one tournament in 0-5 as well. That was pretty rough in front of home crowd, going 0-10.
That's cringy for me. I felt that somewhere in here. I don't have a slice of Portuguese or Brazilian in me, but I felt that somewhere. That hurts.
So maybe this would be a good sign for Furia. I mean, MIBR went 0-10 in their, I guess, home tournament. Maybe Furia can kind of revitalize and scoop up all the fans and disappointment of MIBR. Come to Furia. We're winning. Come over here.
Yeah.
Come over here.
Come here. I'm just so crazy. Here. I got Panther as my team mascot. I'm not gonna bite you though. Get over here.
That's my spell. It's all good.
All right. I wanted to talk about this new LDLC. Have you gotten time to check? I mean, you've heard about the new roster?
Yeah, I've heard about the roster. It hasn't got much news because not many people care about it, but it's LDLC, man. You care.
I care.
We care.
I think this is awesome. You got Major, Sixer, XMS, Happy, Major coming from Space Soldiers, obviously. Then you got Sixer, who the two have actually played together back in 1.6. So they kind of have that connection there. I was actually did a piece on it last night, so brushed up and boned up on my research. Obviously, XMS, Happy, 2-time major winner. A lot of these guys have actually played for LDLC back in the day. Happy was there when they won their first major, actually, and I believe that was the only French team to ever win a major. So Happy brings with him a ton of experience. I think that he was actually played a pretty solid role for Vitality before he got benched by the team.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to challenge me on that. But, I think that barring that LDLC didn't have really too much going on prior to this, I think this is a kind of a fresh little squad that they've introduced. And the fact that they've done it all at once, introducing 5 new players, is kind of cool. You know what I mean? I'm on board with this.
I'm definitely interested to see how they turn out and how they play. And, the thing that you mentioned, Happy, he's gotten a lot of heat in the last probably couple years of being a pretty predictable player because his old play style, like he was known for being that lurker, send 4 people one way here. I'm Happy. I'm lurking over here. And he kind of, defined himself as that kind of player. And for a long time, he didn't change. And so the reason why that picture of him, can we see that picture of him again? Can we do that? Because that just kind of threw me off. But let's see this going right here. Look at that. What? He looks miserable. His eyes are kind of looking a different way. He looks like he just ate something. He's tired. Anyways, Happy. So he was pretty predictable. He didn't really change up his play style a lot, and so a lot of people could kind of counter-strat him in a way, in which that definitely hurts on a high level and a little frustrating in a way too, because it's not. I mean, if they know what you're going to do, you're already at a disadvantage. So I'd like to see how, if he's able to kind of reinvent himself, not being the lurker, and is he able to excel at being, a different role player. I think that'd be pretty cool to follow and see how that turns out.
Yeah, so you think Happy is sort of like stagnating. He's not adapting really well to the new.
He was. I mean, that was his problem, probably like this last year and a half. But, since he got kicked off Vitality and whatnot, I want to see if he's still getting on these teams. He's doing something right. If a lot of these top players still want him on his team and to play with him, even though, he had this, this kind of stigma around him. So maybe we'll see something different.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just a fan of any. I mean, it's French CS, right? You don't really hear a lot about them doing too much. Like today.
It's a shambles right now. French CS is shambles. They've had a super team for the last 3 years, but none of them has been super about it. So
I'm a big underdog guy. You know what I mean? Like I love my underdogs. I was stoked about Vitality. Like I'm always rooting for the team that's below. I can't have a solid team that I commit to because I'm just so excited. I was excited about Furia back at the major, and now LDLC. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna throw my chips over here.
That's cool. I like that. I respect that, man.
You have
to support the underdogs.
What?
So you have to support the underdogs.
Always. Dude. It's exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't have a point. I just wanted to say
boring.
Winning is boring.
Yeah.
Doing good is boring.
They're not even in the conversation, and I'm just like, Astralis is boring.
Yeah.
In other roster news, before we kind of move on, just really quick, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time on this, but you have Cajun B went to Cloud9, right? And I think if we can pull this magic off, we're gonna pull up these tweet replies because his rightfully his announcement was not really welcomed. If we could scroll down a little bit. Yeah, this is kind of funny. This GIF right here, C9 fans.
A lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah.
One thing is, he's not North American. I mean, that's not really the big deal. But the other point being that he's kind of been cut from all these teams in the last year. And people are wondering why pick up Cajun B out of everybody. For one, he used to be a main opper. It's probably like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And he was originally a main opper, one of the main oppers for Optic, but then they picked up Jugi, and I think he went more to a support role. So he went from opping to more of a support role, and I think that's what Cloud9 is going to use him as purely as a support player.
Mhm.
His automatic has been doing well with the AWP, unless Audi does not want to op anymore.
Right.
I'm expecting him to op. We have Rush as kind of, I'd say Rush would be kind of lurk / entry. You know, if they go to his site, it'll be entry, obviously. But if not, he plays sometimes kind of a lurk role sometimes. And then Golden IGL, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting how it plays out. You know, I can't just discount people from their past experiences. I mean, Cajun's been on the pro scene for last at least 3 years on a high level. So he's been around for a while. He has some experience, so it's not a terrible thing. I think people are overreacting and just got to see how they play first before judging them.
I just don't get why you didn't just get a loan or something. I mean, like, I don't think
Yeah,
I'm kind of with everybody. I'm with you as well that I'm not trying to discount anyone, and Cajun B has played at like the top level for a while now, but I don't think this is the right move for Cloud9. So why would you flat out purchase him? I don't
I
know.
think I think one of the problems is C9 haven't even had a stable roster for over a year.
Right.
Over a year.
Yeah.
They've had roster changes, roster problems, substitutions, not one consistent roster for an entire year. And I think they're just like they're tired of not having that. And they want a stable roster. So it's kind of like they want it so bad they're probably willing to pick up anyone at this point.
Yeah, they're just making dumb
So
decisions, honestly.
so it's kind of like very risky. Just you know, you had Zelsis who had a lot of potential. He's from NA. People like him. He's a cool guy. I personally like him too. And you know, they just kind of brush him away. You know, he has a couple tournaments to. I mean, he was a stand-in or whatever, or tryout or whatever. But KGB doesn't get a tryout, so he's on the team. He's signed, guys. He's there, and so he must impress Golden in some way to where he wants him on the team. And I have to think it is be his supportability, just his experience and how smart he is in game. I think that's the reason they probably picked him up.
Yeah, I think I'm more sad to see Keo go. So I was loving Keo on C9. I just
Yeah,
like him a
he
lot
was
as a
doing well.
player.
He was doing great. Like him and Flush were doing extremely well for C9.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that both of them had to leave.
Mhm.
Kind of sucks, but
Yeah. Well, hopefully C9 kind of gets it together. I'm sure this is not the last like roster swap for them because I don't think this is just
I hope
it.
not.
Yeah, I know. This is not it.
C9
This,
ceases to be a CSGO organization.
yeah.
Yeesh. Don't want that to happen.
This
Play
just
it too
isn't it
well, C9.
for me.
You can't have big names. You can't have big names fall out. It hurts. Like TSM killed us. Well, they didn't kill us, but it sucks seeing a big organization like a TSM not being CSGO.
Yeah.
You know, they shouldn't be in CSGO.
Mm-hmm. We lost
You know what I mean? You
Rogue
should be in
recently.
CSGO.
But not that they're on the same caliber, but still. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It is painful to the scene.
It's rough. It's rough.
So, tell me about Vertigo entering the competitive map pool. I thought this was an April Fool's joke. I'm gonna be completely. I thought this was the most elaborate. Like we're gonna announce it a week before on April 1st. It's jokes off. Haha, Vertigo. It's not. It's really real.
Which I don't understand their decision.
I
Vertigo. I want new maps in the pool, guys. I want them. I want to play new maps. But is Vertigo the map to choose for the major? I don't know, man. I played the map, I don't know, like 5, 7 times so far, and it's it's a very the thing that upsets me a lot about CS:GO in terms of like mechanics wise, you could hear footsteps from so far away in certain
Mm-hmm.
situations, and in
Yeah.
this map, you can't tell if they're above you. It's like nuke times 100 in terms of I have no idea if these guys are right below me or right in front of me half the time, and
Yeah.
that's kind of dangerous. And there's so many nooks and crannies and corner angles, and I guess the thing I would say is off angle. There's so many off angles where you have to like check corners, and I mean it definitely take a lot of coordination. I think with utility to be able to bust through some of this defense, but I don't know. I would rather have like a mill, or I guess you guys will know it as Tuscan
Give me
these days. I would
Cobble.
rather have a Tuscan, maybe even a Cobble. The Cobble rework was pretty cool, and I think that pretty much changes a lot of the dynamic of that map with the changes that it made. Or even like another new map. I don't know. Just have some. Maybe have like a tournament of new maps and see which one like people like. I don't know. Something interesting instead of just like, hey, let's put in Vertigo. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
guys, have fun with that. Like you guys did zero competitive play with this, and you just can throw in the major. Like, there's no leagues that's running this. It's like an MM, not even MM. It was Wingman. It wasn't even an MM. It was a Wingman, and they decided just to go to the tournament. What are they doing?
It's nuts. I think, yeah, to your point, like, why? My question is, why isn't there any kind of communication with the players? Like, we have like the Counter-Strike Players Association, right? Or something. It's called something to that effect. Follow them on Twitter. Like, why don't we have representatives from them talking to Valve? I mean, how can they just do something like this? You know what I mean? And
Al doesn't care
there's
about CS:GO. Can throw it out there. They don't care. They
that'd be
care about
really
Dota.
poor decision.
Gabe, do you know who I am? I played CS when Steam first came out. Hello, Gabe. You might have heard of me. Probably not. You're making billions of dollars. You don't give a shit about anything. I can't say that he probably does give a shit about something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm here. But I'm being a little bitter here, Gabe. I'm a little bitter. You need some representatives, some consulting to do before you make these big decisions. You have
Yeah.
experts in the field. I'm not just pointing to myself. There are hundreds of people qualified. Ask their question. I don't care. Just get consulting before you do something like this.
Do you think it's
You're
gonna
hurt.
stay? Do you think this is like a permanent thing?
Here's a problem. Even if they realize it's a mistake,
They probably won't change it.
cries are so messed up that they like, no, we can't go back in our word. What we do is always right. We're here at Steam making billions of dollars. Our decisions are right. So they won't go back. They're going to make us play Vertigo for like 6 months to a year, at least a major or something. And they're like, yeah, it's a bad idea. Let's go throw in some other map at this time. And
Yeah.
then maybe at that time they'll be like, hey, what map should we put in the pool, guys? We should have done this before. We won't admit it, but what should we do?
Give me
Like,
Aztec. Give me something to be fucking pumped about, all right? Not Vert.
Aztecs are
Here's this
much.
map. You can just walk off the side of it and you're dead. You know what I mean? Like, I
You
don't
can't
know.
hear any. I don't know where angles are at. It's
There's
just
so
chaos.
many.
That's
There's
chaos.
so many places people can hide, angles, everything. Like, it's crazy. It's so very quick map too. It's like
Yeah, it'd be pretty
speed
quick.
fire. It's like
A
everyone
lot
is
of
taking speed, just
a
fucking
lot,
right in their veins. That's what
a
Vertigo
lot,
is.
a lot of quick, fast action choke points. Yeah, you're right. It can be pretty quick, and then it's like quick and long. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes because like if you go one way, it's fast, but if you want to go back all the way around, you have to take another 30, 45 seconds at least to get there. Because if you run, they can hear you across the map.
The
So
only the
it's
only thing that makes sense about this map is the name because I'm getting fucking sick playing it because there's
vertical
just so much
Foxfire.
happening. I'm like, over here, boom, this box with this elevator bang. Like it's fucking out of control. It's out of control.
Yeah,
But the
yes, it
sound
is.
cues, to your point, huge problem, I think, because everything is
Yeah.
stacked on top of each other. It's super quick. And then another thing that I'm sort of realizing is that okay, you have cache removed. Australis is only ban. The second best team in the world, Liquid, their best map is gone.
It's conspiracy.
It is. It's it's
Conspiracy.
happening.
They want Astralis to be the best team in the history of esports teams.
God, I thought it was suspicious. This team.
And Astralis is just going to ban Vertigo. I mean, they might want to play it, but I doubt it. I mean, they're going to put work into it for sure.
Yeah, they'll be the ones that will make the map actually
maybe
fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
We're gonna hashtag Valve sucks in the chat. Valve doesn't.
Someone's ready Vertigo, and someone's gonna pick Nuke. Nuke's gonna be the new map. Well, it's been kind of the new map, but it's even gonna be even more.
Yeah,
the new map.
I think so. Is the first time it's being played is at Madrid? Is that right?
I think they played it at a tournament recently.
Did they?
Was it?
I knew I was probably wrong with this, but that's the one that's the only one that I know.
Pretty sure I don't know about like a tier 1 match, but I'm pretty sure at semi-pro level they've played Vertigo already.
Yeah, I think ESCA was doing something. Has already put it in.
Probably. Oh yeah, I mean they're going to follow the major format.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. And all the leagues have to adjust. They have to take out cash, put in Vertigo. Sorry, Sal, your map is gone. Sal's Volcano, one of the makers of Cash.
Okay.
I feel bad.
Yeah, sorry. You know every single person in Counter-Strike.
Shit map like Vertigo. Well, it's not shit. I kind of enjoy playing a little bit. But for competitive play, it's shit right now. We don't know what to do. It looks crazy. And we're scared. We just want to be comforted. Okay, we just want hugs.
Come here, just give him a bear hug. Am I right, guys? You know, who's the guy who designed Cash?
There we go.
Yeah. I was thinking that in my ear. I was like, that deserves an applause. Me and my director, we're one right now. Or drum roll, whatever that is. What do you say his name was? Dave, the guy that designed Cash.
One of them, Sal Volcano. Rosa.
It's like I forgot. You know every single person that's involved in the building of Counter-Strike. Like this guy Steve, he designed the cobbles on cobblestone. Just painted them.
I was there with his long nights and painting those stones.
It was birth in Aztec.
He really loved his work. He wanted everything to be crafted by his own hands.
Hey, more than fair, you know what I mean? Artists, they want to express themselves. They want to show what they got. We're gonna round this baby out. We got the Blast Pro Series.
Creation.
Yeah, let's get it.
It's Michelangelo quote.
What is it?
Criticize through creation.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh my!
What?
Yeah. I just got a little touch in the ear, a little drum roll.
There you go.
This whole tech, the new tech is amazing. It's the
you guys are exploding. You guys are evolving.
We are. Someone just
beautiful.
Threw a bunch of rare candies in here. All right, we're gonna round this baby out. We got Blast Pro Series Miami, Play of the Week, Banter of the Week. Blast Miami, 250K, happening today. It's starting today. Single round robin. You got Astralis before, who won last Blast in Sao Paulo. Cloud9, obviously, Occasion B. They are talking a lot about their practice C9. That's something I didn't mention before, but they're posting on Twitter. They're boot camping hard, really coming out for this one. I think this is Astralis's tournament, no doubt. I think this is just another typical going to be Astralis Liquid Grand Final. That's what I'm making of this.
Astralis is the team to beat right now, and the tournament is pretty stacked here. It's pretty much considered tier 1. I mean, you could be a little jerk and say MIBR is not tier 1, but
tier 5 right now.
everyone else is doing really well, and it should be a pretty fun tournament to watch. I've always enjoyed the Blast series, especially their HUD. They've done a really good job on the visual aspects of the stream, and it's pretty awesome to see a different organizer come in and just kind of knock it out of the park. And so it's pretty stoked on Blast in general, and their format's a little weird in terms of playing all the matches at once, which from a worker perspective, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
you're only there for like 6-7 hours, and you're like, okay, time to go home. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of being there for 12, 14 hours, and then you got to clean up after that. So I can see it from their point of view pretty good. And if they got money to toss around where they don't, like, because a lot of tournaments will kind of try to milk as long as possible in terms of you have all these teams here, you pay for everything, costs a lot of money. Let's play as much match, get as much content out there as possible. So you got all these tournaments running like 12-hour days and matches all throughout the day. Blast series is just like, come this time window of matches, and instead of the whole day format, which is kind of cool.
I think that makes it honestly, like when I was watching Blast, I was in Sao Paulo. That was the first Blast that I really paid a lot of attention to and watched all the games. I'm chilling, sipping, like you already got a coffee on my couch watching a big screen.
Yeah.
But like I was just so enthralled by the spectating experience. The production value is super high. But I think the fact that the matches, because they're just sitting there and like, oh, now we're going to jump into this game that's going on right now. You know what I mean? So it's very fast paced. I think that makes the viewing experience a lot better. Is having it that way.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if your team's on the mainstream, that's great. But I guess the counterpoint to that is that if your team's not on one of the main streams, because I think they only have a couple streams. I don't think they have all the matches at once. So I mean, all the matches on stream at once.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that, or do they? I don't remember. I remember seeing like maybe a C stream, but I don't know.
I think it was an ABC. Which they only have 6 contenders, so I guess that would be all of them.
So maybe it's that. Maybe it's not a problem. Yeah. So hey, I mean, it maybe hurts Blast more than anyone else, but I don't know. They still get the viewership, and I don't know. It's different. So it's interesting. I mean, I don't mind it. So it's kind of cool.
All right, so give me your top 6. Who's taking what? In what order?
Top 6.
You start from the bottom, the lowest of low, or the top?
Let me see. I don't want to just throw in C9. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do, I'd say C9's last, unfortunately. Okay. Reason why they're probably the least established team out of all this. New roster. Golden's coming back after a long hiatus of not playing in tournaments. So he has to bring in with his system. They got to take over Flush's old system. I don't know if they're working together. Maybe they have a similar system, but regardless, new players. So they have to probably revamp everything. I'm assuming Cloud9's going to be at last. Please prove me wrong. Then after Cloud9, I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with FaZe.
Really?
FaZe has been doing really poorly, super, super poorly. Their in-game leadership is a mess. Nico's not confident in himself anymore. He wants to. I mean, he just made a quote recently that he does not want to. He does not want to be leadership, and he can't wait till someone takes it over. In a nutshell, so I think they're having a rough time, and this might be another wake-up call for them. And then after that, I'm going to go with MIBR. I mean, at this point, anyone can win the tournament, but I'll put MIBR at third, not third or fourth. I think they still got some kinks to work on, and maybe this tournament will help them. I mean, you saw Sao Paulo, and how rough it was. How rough it was for them.
Saw with my own eyes, Bears.
Wake up call, as Colin said. And then
I'm surprised they weren't killed after the game, because I know they do that over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, carry on.
And then the top 3, Astralis, Liquid, Na'Vi. You know what? I think Navi's can get third, even though they just won a tournament. I feel like Astralis and Team Liquid are the better team in terms of teamwork, even though Simple and Electronic were pretty hot at their last tournament. I think they're going to need a little more tactical execution if they want to take over the likes of Liquid and Astralis. And then it's always Liquid and Astralis in the finals, huh? And you know what? I'm going to go with Astralis second, Team Liquid first.
Okay.
Because American soil, jet lag, and the hungriness of Team Liquid wanting to beat Astralis. I think Astralis can get second, and there we go. That's my predictions.
Well, you made it easy for me because I'm going 100% with what you're at right now. I think
Yeah.
C9. There's no. I mean, maybe they can get fifth somehow, like instead of dead last. But I'm more than likely that team is going in last. FaZe has just been horrible. I mean, 11th place at Star Series. Yeah.
They lose to everybody. They losing to everybody.
Yeah. I think Navi is kind of interesting. Yeah, they just won Star Series, but this team cannot. They're so inconsistent that I don't really trust to put them in. And then I always want to say Liquid is going to win. I always want to say it in this Astralis bout.
They have the potential. They just don't perform as well as they should and the time is right, I wouldn't say performance anxiety, but they had that mental block. Everyone knows this. They know it.
Mm-hmm. I saw the quote. I saw HLTV quote. It might have been Twists or NAF. I think it might have been NAF, and he says anything less than the grand final is a huge disappointment. That's true. Mm-hmm. So I know they definitely expect to see themselves in the grand final. They got to be hungry for it. You know what I mean?
You have to go to these tournaments not expecting to win, but planning to win. You can't be a professional player if you don't plan to win every single match and every single tournament that you participate in. Even if you're top 16 in your league, you still have to prepare every match like you believe and want to win. That's like the key because it's just a grind. Every match, play it like your last, and so a lot of these people do. That's how you get to that top. You got to give it your all.
Yeah, and you're in Miami, baby. You're on the home soil, like you said. Liquid always channeling that energy. I remember I Am Chicago. They had the crowd behind them. They're on fire. NAF is being a little Michelangelo in the server. Fucking genius. You know what I mean? So, and I'm so angry that I'm still not living in Florida because I would 100% be attending that tournament. But nonetheless, I'm going Liquid too. We got 2 Liquid predictions. If they actually win, I think the world might explode. There might be a black hole now created in the atmosphere that'll kill us all.
There'll be a lot of threads of Astralis era over. That's the first thing. First off, it's over. Yeah. It's over. No it's over. It's over. That's not how it works.
You're right too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this baby up. We got the play of the week. It was easy for simple. Bet you never heard that one before. I'm kidding. You probably have. This one's coming from Star Series Season 7. Let's roll this one right here.
Sitting in the pit, catches off the plant. 14 seconds, they've got to get out. Simple gets only one in return. Jumps up and somehow finds Sergey, but he hasn't found the bomb. He will now. And he goes away from default because he doesn't want to get naded. He also knows there's a flank, and he also knows he needs position. Whoa! He actually gets the first one. He's got a chance. He knows Alu's up close, and he sneaks around. Oh, that's what we like from Simple.
The crowd absolutely loving that one.
It's amazing. It's just amazing how Simple makes professional players look like noobs.
Dude,
obviously hindsight's 2020 is like, why are these guys peaking like they are doing? But I don't know. It's like
makes it look so easy.
It's like, why are you guys hesitating peeking? Why aren't you peeking together? How did Sergey miss that shot off a balcony? Simple's like jumping in the air, and
that was arguably
shot in the back, kind of like okay. It's when you're on fire, like Simple's been on fire for the last year. All right, he's been playing ridiculous, best player of the world kind of stats, and good is one thing. He's obviously really good, but it seems like he's also really fucking lucky, and that really helps. That really propels him. That propels him to be even better than he is. Like he's very skilled. When best skilled, he's also really lucky. And that's such a dangerous combo, especially, like you see these kind of like that round right there. Like, what? You're playing against one of the best teams in the world, and you're able to pull that stuff off. That would never happen it will happen in lower leagues, but like in professional league, that's rare. That's pretty rare to have three really good players just completely botch 1-on-1s or 3-on-1 situations. It's not everyday thing. So it's a little lucky. Make yourself a little lucky.
Okay. Create your own luck, right, guys? Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a little lucky, that they didn't peak at the same time. More than fair to say that.
Hindsight's 2020. It's hindsight's 2020.
Okay. That clip was still super hot, flying out of the window.
Oh, yeah. Big part of the tournament.
Soaring.
It was an important round of the tournament. It was a 1-on-3.
That's spicy from Simple. I love it. I'm going to have to go get some Italian after this now. Lastly, we got our banner of the week, and it is a 45-second sizzler of Vertigo highlights. That I guess we'll call that. Okay, let's run it.
That's what we call it, highlights.
How could this happen to me?
It had to happen, alright? It had to happen. I swear to God, this map is so bad.
There you have it. Can we call those highlights?
Yes, they're highlighting how bad the map is, and so I've fallen off that same spot like 2 or 3 times already. Just trying to make the jump and hitting the wall, like you barely clip the wall, you just fall straight down. It's like, okay.
That little jump has claimed more lives than anything ever in the world. I'm convinced.
It's already people are suiciding more than ever.
Yeah, the rate is up.
Hey.
Oh, hey, whoa, take it easy, guy. Yakety Sax. Oh, that's the name of that song, by the way. Do you know that?
What?
It's called
Yakety
Sax.
I never knew
appropriate name, I think it sounds like.
It's usually the Benny Hill theme. That's what people do.
Yes, exactly.
It's called Yakety Sax. Oh my goodness, that guy looks weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just looking at Google.
I know. So yeah, we were like playing the jingle. I was like, what's the name of the song? What is it? He's like, it's Yakety Sax. I was like, huh. Okay, I've never heard that like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting name.
Yeah. So that's Vertigo. That's all we got for this show today, Bears. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, my man. Any last words, any final words for you? You want to say anything? Blast, Kajun B, anything Vertigo.
Maps other than Vertigo. That's all I got.
Okay. Mad respect.
Thank you.
All right, my dude. I will catch up with you soon. Thank you, as always, for joining me.
Adios, amigos.
I'm just going to sit here and enjoy Tahiti. I caught the wrong flight from Miami, and now here I am. Guys, thank you so much for watching, as always. I definitely had some people in the chat, little chit chatter in the chat. That's where I'm going. Appreciate you guys, as always, for watching. We're here typically every Thursday at 2 p.m. CT. Had some little bit of tech issues yesterday, so had to switch it over to today. But nonetheless, thank you, as always. Like I said, we're live every Thursday, 2 p.m. CT. Huge shout out to UGC for producing the show, and a massive shout out to our sponsors at Hotspawn for making this possible, supporting us. Definitely go check them out at hotspawn.com. The best in esports news, data analysis. You can catch some of my pieces there. We just uploaded a piece of the head coach of Ghost Gaming. We had done an interview with him back at DreamHack Atlanta. So please, please, please go check that out. Support them, support us, and any feedback, you can reach us at Twitter at @TheReloadFM. You can find me at Luongo_pro, and obviously UGC at UGC Events. That's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.